All right, welcome, kings and queens. Man, as the world turns, the drama just keeps on giving regarding love and marriage Huntsville. I was going to take a nap. I was not going to cover this. I said, you know what? My girl, Diana Rose, did a good job on it. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to just be like everybody else. I'm going to go to everybody else's blogs and their YouTube pages, and I'm going to sit back and watch Martell act a damn fool. But then my subscribers, y'all just kept giving and giving and giving. And the last one said, could you please jump on and give an overview? So I put my nap aside and I said, child, let me see what's going on out here. And let me see what I can come up with. And baby, I did a little digging. I am laughing all the way to the bank. Honey, it is chess, not checkers. Melody Ben got her damn lick back from you, Martell Holt. I am cracking up. You do not play with a Scorpio. Because what you don't know is why you was trying to play me. And like in the mind of a Scorpio, baby, I was playing you. Melody Ben got her lick back from your ass. But are y'all ready to get into it? For those of you who are just tuning in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. Y'all, this is hilarious. We got a couple of things that I would like to cover. This is good. This is good. Melody is not a one-trick pony, honey. Melody got his ass back, and that's why he's acting out. She got him good. Don't look at today. I'm going to walk y'all all the way back. I'm going to walk you back why this narcissist, alleged narcissist, is upset. We're going to cover a few things. We're going to cover Martell. We're going to cover Devin Keith. We're going to cover his history with Melody. We're going to cover how do we get here. And we're going to also cover why Martell is mad. All right. First things first. Martell. I am laughing. I am laughing all the way. I'm just laughing, y'all. I'm laughing to the bank. He got. And he know he got. All right. But Carlos, I got to cover you first. Did you think I was going to let you off the hook, Carlos? I told you every time Martell acts out, I am coming for you because that is your proclaimed golden child. All right. Now, here's the thing on a serious note. This is completely out of control. And Carlos, you think it's cute, but you've put that battery in his back. And if you don't reel your boy in, it will blow up in your face sooner opposed to later because you just keep engaging him and giving him the power and the authority to move forward with no consequences. And please stop telling us that you call him to cuss him out as if y'all are in a relationship. We don't give a damn about that. He needs to be removed from the network. I am going to keep saying it over and over and over. Own network, you are failing us. You are failing yourselves. And if Martell puts his hands on that man that is a state representative by way of a city councilman, you're in big trouble. You're in big trouble because Carlos has identified Martell as being a harm to himself. And when you become a harm to yourself, you're automatically a harm to others. So there should have been some type of recourse, some type of action, but there hasn't been. So I just want to keep saying that and keep saying that. So you know, Carlos, you're partially responsible. Now let's get into it because here's the thing. At this point, it has become harassment. Okay. it's become harassment. He's about to escalate. He's about to escalate. This is harassment, and this is also stalking. But he gets away with it because you love him, Carlos, and you've said it out loud. I love him. Any other network would have released him because he's a liability. But let's get into Martell's behavior. So here's the thing, Melody. Here's the thing, audience. We got to go back. What just happened in December? He bought those kids a phone in December. It is, I believe this is connect. I think Martell is stalking or has found a way to stalk Melody by way of those phones. And I don't care if you turn them off. I'm connecting the phone and the timeline of the phones with the current behavior we're seeing a month later, less than 30 days later, right? No, about 30 days later, he bought the phone for Christmas. Now he's acting out. So, number one, if Devin is Melody's man, which she has not confirmed, but let's just say he is, because she can confirm whenever she wants. If he's Melody's man, how does Martell know that? All right, there's only a few ways he knows that. Through those phones. Either he's put something on those phones or either directly stalking Melody and she's not aware and following her and he's been watching him for a while, or the unfortunate part is he's getting information from his children, which means they're all too old for him to be questioning them now. Okay. Mariah is 11, Tank is 10, Boss Baby is 8. At this point, they know right from wrong. They know what feels good. They know what doesn't feel good. And if you are extracting information from your children, that's emotional and manipulative abuse, which is why I said this has escalated. Melody's too clever of a woman, too sophisticated, too sharp, too safe to have ever given you any proclivity that it's Devin, which she has not confirmed. Okay. So if it is Devin, y'all look at this. This is dangerous. If it's Devin, how in the hell does Martell know? Either he's stalking them. Melody, check your car. Make sure there's no trackers. You need to check those phones. I don't know. Like, I'm not a tech savvy person. You need to figure out, even if those phones are off, what the hell is going on. And you need to also, I know, damn, I hate talking about kids, other people's children. Like, talk with the therapist and make sure that he's not getting any one of your children to spy on you or manipulating them to give him information, unfortunately. And I hate to say that. That breaks my heart to even think that that man would go that low. But at this point, this is very dangerous because, on the second hand, if Devin is not Melody's new boyfriend, then Martell has just slandered this man and slandered Melody. Either way, I told you, it has escalated, it's out of control, it's sloppy, and somebody within the own network needs to get rid of Martell Holt for the simple fact that he tagged that man in his post regarding his obsession, his unhealthy obsession with his ex-wife. That's reckless, that's dangerous, and it's starting to spill over to other people. Now let's back up a little bit. Go back and look at all of my recaps from this year. And I'm putting this on record because I feel like this man is a ticking time bomb. I put it on record and I'm putting on record today. I've been petitioning Carlos King by way of my commentary to do something before someone gets hurt. Okay? I've mentioned it in almost all of my videos. Hey, somebody needs to do something. Own network, you need to do something about Martell. No one hasn't. And now it's starting to spill over to other people's lives. And you say, well, why is that a problem? Because Melody has yet to mention Sheree or any other women that Martell has slept with or is sleeping with. Melody has not involved those people in anything that she and Martell has going on. Martell is officially stalking Melody. I said it because how would he know who this person is? He's stalking her. All right. First proof of stalking, harassment, all of that good stuff. Because how do you know if that is her man, Martell? You're in the background doing something. And if it's not her man, it's negligence on your part. It's slander because he posted this on his social media. Y'all, let me know if Melody Cherie or anyone else started a GoFundMe for Devin Keith. I have a little something. #king. No, you're not a king. But I get what you're saying. That was in direct response. I think Diana Rose mentioned it in her commentary. That was in direct response to Melody's post, Melody's story on yesterday. So that also tells you that Martell is stalking Melody. That means Martell may have, well, I'm not going to say may, should, because I know Melody probably have you blocked. That means you have different fictitious accounts on social media. So not only are you stalking this man, you are stalking the mother of your children and your ex-wife. Not good. Not good at all. And he keeps showing us, and everybody keeps giving this alleged psychopath a pass. When do we stop? And that's the only thing I don't like sometimes in the Black community. We allow bad behaviors to go on and on and on and on and on. And then when somebody's no longer here, we cry out for justice. It's like, how much more proof do you need? How much more data do you need from this man? We have more of a reaction than being proactive in our efforts to protect women and children. And it's okay because people don't like Melody on the cast, so everybody turns a blind eye to it. And it's not okay. It's not okay. It doesn't matter what you feel for her. Carlos, that's how I know you're not for women. You're not for women. You have not 1 ounce of concern regarding the welfare of women. Because if so, your affection, your love, your self-proclaimed love for this man would not blur your common sense and your professional sense to be able to carry out and say, hey, this is getting ugly. You know, this is tarnishing my brand. This is tarnishing the opportunity that I have with a very sophisticated and conservative network. And as a result, I am going to have to part ways with you or put you on an administrative leave of absence. His effing behavior is out of control, and y'all keep giving this psychopath a pass. Why? But let's move on. Devin. All right. Who is Devin? I don't know his age, but he looks younger than Martell. I don't know if he's Melody's man or not. She has yet to confirm that. Okay. I do know he does not have any children. Okay. He doesn't have any children. Now, part of me hopes that he isn't Melody's man for 2 reasons. Number one, when I looked at his stature, physically, Martell carries a little bit more muscle mass and body mass than Devin. Well, why is that important? Well, it's important to me because I was hoping for a little rough and tough, okay? So that somebody big enough, strong enough could whoop his ass if they needed to, if he decided to pop up somewhere, show up somewhere. And speaking of popping up, let me go back. Martell took his ass to that birthday party because he thought that he was going to see Devin there. Now, I talked about the phone, and I'm jumping all over the place, but I'm about to tie it up, make it make sense. I talked about the phone in December. If Martell all of a sudden, y'all got to be careful with narcissists. They become real nice when they want something or when they're plotting something. So you remember he was really nice and he reached out to Melody. Can I take the kids to get a phone? And it was her day and she said, yeah. Melody, you should have said no. Love you, Melody, but you got to stick to your guns with this one. You should have said no. I think maybe a little bit prior to Christmas, Martell may have received insight and or intel that you were close to Devin, if Devin is your man. And that was shortly after you posted, Melody. So when you posted the arm, he started researching and investigating, and he came up in my head. I don't know this to be true. Those phones are connected to this somehow, some way. He got those phones. He showed up at the birthday party. Now, the fact that he's posting Devin, y'all, makes me believe that there's a huge possibility that Devin was at the birthday party. And at first, I didn't think Devin was at the birthday party when I initially posted. But since Martell has followed up with this cryptic message, lets me know he went to that birthday party because he knew Devin was there. Let's get into it. All right. So I don't think the kids necessarily know this is mama's man. If it is, Melody has yet to confirm. I think Melody and her team and her close ones are clever enough to know how to do that. And you know, they weaved in or worked Devin into the background. But I think Martell showed up because somebody put him up on game and be like, hey, oh boy over there. At first, I didn't think he was there, but now I think he may have been there. I could be wrong. So Martell shows up to make a effing scene, which we all said, this is not about the kids. This is not about the kids. You don't want to see you want to see that man, and you saw him, and now you're mad. Or you saw his car, because Huntsville is small enough for you. Everybody know what everybody's driving and all of that. Just like they knew Ariane was driving around in a BMW. All right. So you knew he was there. And that's why they were going to threaten y'all to call the police on him. All right. Because they, in my opinion, they couldn't risk Martell making a scene, not only at the kid's birthday party, but while a city councilman was there. I could be wrong. I could be completely off my rocker. It's not often that I am, but I'm trying to piece all of this together, and I'm going to give you a timeline. All right. So that's why Martell took his butt to that party. So bingo, we are right about that. I think the man was there. All right. I think he was there, low key. All right. Now, how would Martell know he's there? Melody, you may have a mole in your camp or something with those phones. Now, let's go back to Devin. Devin, he's young. He doesn't have any kids. Now, let's go back to me saying I kind of don't want him to be her man. If he is, number one, I need somebody that can whoop Martell's ass. I need somebody to be like, Nuck, if you bug, I got something for you. That's what I need for Melody. All right. Number two, Devin is a city councilman. So even if he were a bigger guy, he still can't fight Martell because he has a reputation to uphold. He has a lot to lose, which makes me believe he is her man. And that's why Martell is acting out. That's why he went to the skating party. Martell is really trying to make this guy look bad. Okay. So the harassment will continue and it will escalate because Martell knows that this man cannot do anything back to him because of his position on the city council. All right. Now, there is some history. I did a lot of research. There's some history, sorry, Mel, between Melody and this guy, and not dating history. I cannot confirm if it's dating or not, but there's an 8-year history, and I'll show you in a minute. All right. Now, in my opinion, if they are dating, they started dating probably a little bit over a year ago. I'll give you some proof in just a second. All right. Now, Devin, city councilman, you know better. You know to check your card. at the Walmart checkout line. I'm not saying this because I'm a blogger. I would say this if I was your sister, your mama, your cousin. You know better. You know they be watching people like a hawk. Now, I don't think you got arrested because you were black. I think you got arrested because you left something in your cart. We don't play behind Melody. And we are her extended family. Now, I know the biological family. All right. They like you, but we don't know you yet. If you are her man, we don't know you yet. And you've gotten off to a bad start. We don't want you out here in these streets with stealing behind your name if you're going to be dating our cousin and our sister, who's Melody. We are her social media family. So we need you to clean that up and come in the right way. All right. Because she don't have those kind of problems. All right. Now, if he is her man, let me tell you this. He doesn't have children. She does. And if they pursue this relationship further, he's going to want at least one or two. All right. I believe if they got married and all of this, I heard Melody say she would give, if she ever got married, she would give her husband one child with some parameters in place. I don't know how many he's going to want. So now we know if that is her man, and if they do get married, there's a likelihood of Melody having at least 1 to 2 more children. Ouch. Yes. But guess who? But Martell is going to be pissed. Pissed. So that further complicates things with the harassment and the stalking. All right. Y'all get what I'm saying? Martell is going to be so pissed if Melody gets married and has another child. All right. Now, let me get my notes. Martell, you got played. You got played all the way to the bank. While you was around here chasing side dishes and bowls of coleslaw and the likes of a charade that has 1 foot in and 1 foot out of Real Housewives of Atlanta, Melody leveled up. Now, here's the thing. Devin is the type of man that Melody probably should have been dating from jump when at her college age. They are a perfect fit from college all the way up. I don't know about right now. I don't know if I like him for her, if that is her man. But it's not about what I like. It's about what she likes. And I know he's nice and all that, but he's younger. He's a little bit younger. Other than that, that's my concerns with Devin. Now let's talk about the history. All right. The history. So Melody, yes, Melody has known Devin for at least 8 years now. Okay. I have it right here in front of you. 2015. Since 2015. Now, she may have known him just by association. Okay. Now, that's not a problem because that's not shade on my part. Because did you not see that Melody and Martell also knew Sheree? And look who Martell is with. All right, let's get into it, Martell. Baby, you're not the only one because two can play that game.
You big dummy.
So Mama Van, probably, if they are dating, Mama Van probably knew about them dating. I'm gonna say about a year and a half. You see right here, Mama Van has been supporting him for quite some time. So I just want to give y'all that little bit of receipts. This is not me exposing my girl, but this is just me coming with the receipts backing up what I say. All right. Now I have some other stuff, but I'm gonna hold on to it for now. Now here's the thing. Melody, there's a reason that Martell is trying to expose you. And it's not simply because you are dating Devin. Okay. Martell is trying to depict and paint you in a negative, and not because of what Devin got caught up in. It's bigger than that. So this is what we have to look at. What Martell is trying to do is force your hand. As long as no one knew who you were dating, you were fine, Melody. Martell's trying to get you pushed off the show. Okay? Because he's going to try to force your hand and force Carlos King's hand to make them show you interacting with Devin. You get what I'm saying? And if you don't, you've already heard Carlos say, I wish someone would, attempt to hide their life, not on my show. That's where I think Martell is going with this. I think he's known for some time. I think he's been stalking you for quite some time. But since he did not get his way by bringing Arion on the show to be able to taunt you and tease you, check this out. I think they're all in it. The men are, including Carlos to some extent. Because Arion said on her live, Marceau told me that all they're going to try to do is edit me in a bad way. So everybody knew about her potentially coming on the show. I made a video, y'all, a couple of months ago, and y'all told me I was wrong. I told y'all they're trying to bring her on the show, and Carlos King was in on it. I said it. Somehow, for some reason, Carlos King backed out of it to try to act. That's why Martell is mad. Martell's not mad because they won't bring her on the show. Martell's mad because Carlos tricked him. Arion's mad because she got tricked by Carlos. Okay? I have a video and I said, they're trying to bring Arion on the show. And y'all like, no, they will never do it. I said, to hell, Carlos King would. Hell yeah, yes, he would. Yes, he would. And he did not decide to not bring her on the show because of what she said and made a comment about him coming to Huntsville. No, that's not what did it. We got wind of it. He was trying to do Melody like he did Miss Van. They were going to blindside Melody with Arion. All of them are in on it. Okay? But God said no. Melody, you have divine protection over you. God said no. That's why Martell is pissed, because Carlos may have given him the impression, allegedly, a few months ago, that he had the green light on this. That's why Arion was on the internet popping her shit a couple of months ago, being very, very cocky. Like, I know what's going on with, y'all don't remember? She said, I know everything that's going on with production. That's why and it's not because Martell was lying to her. I think he was actually telling her the truth, but Carlos pulled a whammy. Just like Carlos pulled a whammy on the reunion. Check this out. Remember when he says, he was asking Melody about that lady. I forgot her name. Dang, I forgot her name. The hairdresser. About Marcel cheating and if she was going to come on the show. And Melody looked at him and said, you were right there. You were involved in all of the discussions. Y'all, the same thing happened between Arion and Carlos and Martell and the rest of the castmates. Carlos had that girl sign something where she could not talk about what they were negotiating for her to come on the show. And at some point, allegedly, Carlos changed his mind. Martell is crazy, but he ain't that crazy. He's pissed off because Carlos bamboozled him. That's why they're getting into it. And Martell can't tell us all of the truth because he would be violating probably what is it, an NDA? I think that's what it is. Y'all know what the hell I'm trying to say. Let me back up. So let's go on to the next thing. This is really deep. And they almost got away with it. But if you watch and if you listen carefully, there are some truths in what Arion is saying. She's not lying about everything. Some of her statements, some of her commentary is extremely exaggerated. And there are some that are pure facts. Now, I do believe her. I do believe her when she said that she was going to come on the show. I believe her. But let me tell you what Carlos did. Carlos is tricky. So there are two puppet masters at play in this entire saga. Carlos King and Marcel Scott. Marcel keeps a post on Martell, okay, when Carlos is away. Now, here's the thing. I do believe that Carlos, at one point in time, allegedly, made Martell feel like Ariane was coming on the show. I don't feel like Carlos changed his mind when Ariane talked about Carlos coming down to Huntsville. Okay? I think Carlos changed his mind way before that, but he was looking for a reason to back out of it because we as the public had gotten wind of it. That's why Carlos said no, not because of her mouth. Her mouth has always been reckless. Okay? Her mouth has always been reckless. The only reason why he backed out of it, y'all, he knew what it was when he was going to bring her on there. The only reason why he backed up out of it because he knew there would be hell to pay if we found out that he had a hand in it. So he utilized her mouth as an excuse to back out of it. But he was smart enough to get her ass to sign a contract. It's not an NDA. She said a contract. Go back and listen to her lives. She said they tricked me. He tricked me into signing that contract. So now I can't tell y'all nothing. All right. Carlos had her to sign that so that Melody wouldn't find out what was going on. So she can't run her mouth on social media about what was told to her. Carlos is playing both sides, attempting to. Because he doesn't want Melody to know that he was about to try to do her like he did Miss Van when they brought Mark on the show. You get what I'm saying? Y'all, everybody, from my perspective, I'm just throwing this out there. I don't know all of this to be true, but I feel like all of this is unraveling. And if it's coming to the forefront, if you listen to her and if you start putting pieces of the puzzle together and you're like, why is Martell so mad at Carlos? Just because Ariane can't come on? No. Martell is upset with Carlos because Carlos broke his word. Carlos didn't keep his word. I think they've all been against Melody. I think there's a pact. And I think Carlos was in on it. And I think Martell has kept his word about exposing Melody and everybody else has done their part. And Martell is pissed off because you didn't do your part. You wouldn't bring my baby mama on. And that's a part of my real life. This didn't just happen. Martell is just acting out because he realized he got tricked and he got played. See, they're playing each other, Martell and Carlos. But Martell, you have no power. Carlos and Martell have all the power. Your power was when you were with Melody, you damn fool. Your power was with Melody. Melody was your covering. She was your saving grace. She was your veil, your cloth. Okay, you're an idiot. Carlos is going to use you up. Carlos has put a battery in your back and you don't even know what he's doing to you. But at the same time, Carlos, Martell is using you. And the number one player that y'all need to be watching is the Joker. The one with the crooked smile in the background. Marceau knows everything. That's why he and Tisha are off limits. You see what I'm saying? And now check this out, Ariane. They played you too. They played you too, boo-boo. Your eyes are so set on hating Melody and running behind Martell, you don't even know, girl. You are like, I don't even want to use the word. You are nothing to them. You are something to be used. And the only reason why Marceau told you not to do it is because the plan blew up and it fell apart. And Marceau told you not to do it to make it look like he was looking out for you so you wouldn't open your big mouth and tell his shit on social media. That's the only reason why Marceau told you not to do it. Y'all, she just said recently that Marceau told her, don't come on because they're going to edit you to make you look bad. Do you think Marceau, Ariane, as a married man, give a damn about you and your well-being and how you look on the show? Sweetheart, he's not that invested in your reputation. You are a side chick. You mean absolutely nothing to him, his legacy. Why would he be concerned about your damn reputation and how you look? Your reputation is already ruined. Why would he care? Ask yourself if your reputation is ruined and if they edit you in a bad way. You gone. He said that so you can keep your mouth shut. So you won't blow up his spot, you idiot. Now, excuse me, I'm sorry. Well, I said what I said, you idiot. Hell. Now, let's back up. They all knew about it, the women and the men. Now, here's the thing, Letitia. Your husband is frolicking with the side chicks of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So your husband has a friendship with this girl. That girl ain't lying. I don't believe she's lying about that. Now, Melody, here's the thing. If Marcel knew about her coming on the show, Tisha knew. And if Tisha knew, Destiny knew. If Destiny knew, Stormy knew. If Stormy knew, Kimmy and Maurice knew. Everybody knew but you, Melody. Do not trust Carlos King. Okay? Everybody knew but you, but God protected you. God said no. Somehow, some way it fell apart, but that was the Lord. Okay? That was good old God, the one that we can depend on, because they were coming after Melody and they were going to run Melody off that show if Arion came on. Now, let's back up a couple of months. I made a video and I explained to you all, I said, they're going to bring Arion on the show. No one told me that. My instinct kicked in. I watch these shows carefully and I look at it from the viewer's perspective. I look at it from Carlos's perspective and I look at it from my perspective. And when I was looking at it, I was like, if I were Carlos King, who's not above doing somebody dirty, as Candy Burris, allegedly, what move would I make if I was only for myself? And I said to myself, okay, from Carlos's perspective, I would bring Arion on. And I made a video and y'all were upset. And I said, he's going to bring her on that show. That would be the next move. And y'all were like, no, he wouldn't. Yes, he would. But what he did is he snaked out of it when we got wind of it. He was going to bring, in my opinion, allegedly, Arion on the show, period. But something happened and he backed up out of it. And I think that something was God. And the reason we're seeing Martell act up with Carlos is because Carlos didn't keep his word. And Martell's acting like a kid that says, you told me you were going to take me to McDonald's and you didn't. So I'm going to cry. I'm going to throw an effing temper tantrum. And now they're at, having their back and forth. But here's the problem. Carlos, I think you've crossed the line somewhere, somehow, some way. That's why you can't fire Martell or get rid of Martell. I think you've been inappropriate, and I don't mean physically. I think somehow, somewhere, you've crossed the lines of integrity and ethical practices. And Martell has you in a tight spot. That's my belief. I don't know. I just get that feeling. Okay? Maybe you gossip too much with him on the phone and you call and tell me everything else. I think you cross the lines. That's why Martell is acting out, because he know you can't do shit about it. Because if you try to intercede or intervene, he gonna blow up your damn spot. And I think Marcel was very nervous on that stage because Arion and Martell are one and of the same. He did not know what Martell was going to say. Now, I also believe strongly, Melody, that first of all, Martell is stalking you, in my opinion, based on my observations. All of this is alleged, and I'm using this for teaching purposes. I believe that Martell is stalking Melody. I've shared that before in other videos. When he named each person that has been around those children, he knew where she was going, when she was going, and I don't think any of you are taking Martell as serious as you should be. I think Martell has been close enough to you to reach out and touch you, Melody. And you probably didn't know it, because everybody believes that can never happen to me. Now, we're covering you in prayer, but I need everybody to take that man serious. He's finding out information on her. And if he's not stalking her, then somebody is spoon feeding him all of this information about you, Melody. Now, how did we get here? How did we get to a point where love and marriage, Huntsville, has become so dark? All right. How did we get here? Martell went to that party because he wanted to see something. And that something was that man. And I think Martell went to fight. Martell he can't control himself. Carlos said Martell is a force to be reckoned with. Martell cannot control himself. And Martell went to that party to fight that man. That's why they, quote unquote, almost had to call the police. All right? His love ain't that deep that he wanted to see the kids skate. So the police would have to be called because he just wanted to see them skate. Nah, when a man like that show up, because he still think Mel belongs to him. See, it's going to hurt you real bad because you thought you was the only dude on the block. I believe now that in Destin, Florida, Martell, and production knew that Melody was dating, if Devin is her man, was dating Devin. That's why Marcel asked him, how do you think you would feel if Melody started dating? You know what? Let me back it up. I don't think Martell knew then, or maybe he did, depending on how they edit. And he said, oh, well, when they got, and Martell responded, and then they zoomed in to Marceau in his confessional. For once in my life, I felt like Marceau was very serious. And he's like, I don't know how Martell's going to behave if he ever sees Melody with another man. And he says, I'm concerned about that. Y'all, the writing is all the way on the wall. This is a ticking time bomb. And if OWN Network don't get the hell, don't get rid, I don't give a damn about his paycheck or how he makes a living. Get him off the show. Get him off the show. It spilled over to this lady's life. You heard the cast member, Marcel says, I don't know. I'm kind of concerned because I don't think he understands his reaction and what it would be if Melody starts dating. So at that point, I think they knew. The other thing is, what led Martell to exposing Devin? I think I covered that. He wants to force Melody's hand. He wants to force Melody's hand because he knows Melody's not going to film with Devin if Devin is her man because she can't. That's a state representative. I mean, that's a city councilman. He can't be all on no damn reality shows if he wants us to take him serious. I wouldn't want to see him on there. So he knows how Carlos feels about people not sharing their lives. And he's going to demand that Melody get kicked off the show. Y'all, this isn't rocket science. Consider the source. Consider the behavior. It's easy to figure Martell out. He didn't get his way with Ariane. He didn't get his way with us by exposing Devin. I believe it is her guy. I don't want it to be because of his position. I don't want Martell muddying up that man's name, but there's a strong possibility based on the timeline and the history and the support that Miss Van has shown him and wrapped her arms around him that he and Melody may be connected some way. Okay. I think he is stalking. I think he's following. I think he got some type of tracker or something on the phone or your car. Be very, very careful. Check the kids' backpacks. That's crazy, y'all, to even have to have this conversation. But that's how obsessed and infatuated this man is. I think he's dangerously in love with Melody. But at the end of the day, if somebody does not, and I don't think it's going to be Carlos, because he does not seem to care about the well-being of the women on the show, period. And I don't like the fact that you bragged that Kimmy sat on that couch for 15 hours having cancer. So what if she didn't ask for a break? Give her one. I didn't even like that. That was very negligent on your part to know that somebody has a medical condition. So what if she didn't have one? Give her one. If she didn't ask for a damn break, give her one. Anywho, yeah, I wish that it was Devin. I need you to get in the gym if you're not, but I think you are. I think you have good muscle, but Devin can't fight Martell just because of his position. That's my stance on it. That was a long, long commentary. I had so many thoughts regarding this. Carlos, your golden child is going to be your downfall. You heard it here first.